Call this meeting to order. Johnny, you want to take roll call, please?
Mayor Waterman,
Here.
Trustee Balaguer,
Here.
Trustee Comodina,
Here.
Trustee Boggs,
Here.
Trustee Davis,
Here.
Trustee Hinkleman,
Present.
Trustee Krugman,
Here.
the clerk is here, the treasurer is here, and Attorney Graham Lee is here, and we have a quorum.
That was a full house. All right. Say the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Everybody a chance to read over the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes as written.
Wait a second. Sherry, you second that?
Yeah. Yes.
Motion to accept the minutes by Steve, second by Sherry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, motion is carried.
Treasurer. As always, you did a fine job. You want to
Kind of want to point out that our smaller certificate of deposit came due on the 3rd, and you all have copies of rates for 12 months.
how long we have it?
You have 10 days from when it matured
The third of
to the
February?
3rd Wednesday.
Damn near good tap rates. Those are cheaper.
Just a question about the April 2013 on the City of Columbia deal. Did we forget to pay them back in April last year?
They were not paid in April. They sent us a letter that they audited their books, and they were never paid in April, so.
I haven't answered that. I told them to send me a bill and then I left, so. I kept trying to get them to get a bill. Is there a bill yet?
Is there a bill?
Do they give us a bill?
Yeah, they gave us,
They didn't send a bill, so I did.
well, they just sent me one
That's been corrected.
What's the EDI payment to the Department of Revenue?
That is,
It's gotta be something with electronic deposit, but what was that for?
For our taxi.
I can go get the paper in there, but it's a paper that Office Express gave me that she does, that automatically.
Oh, okay, so it's part
Quarterly
of
taxes.
the payroll? Okay,
It's a
okay,
quarterly
gotcha,
probably.
gotcha.
It's quarterly payroll tax, isn't it? There was an employee quarterly federal tax and unemployment tax.
Okay.
I have the papers that goes over there, so let's see what she did.
I'll make a motion to accept the financial report.
Did you want to explain about the media account thing real quick before?
On the bills, to be paid for the month, the other sheet, the one that's not stapled, the media comp, the reason why it's for 3/22, that's 5 months, because when we had the P.O. box,
Mhm.
they still had that, it was being sent back, so.
We didn't get a bill for 5 months, but now we're caught backed up, and they turned us back on. Okay, Leo has a motion to accept financial.
I'll second it.
I got a bill for you too, from Iowa City, University of Iowa, Black and White. Sent a check to them back in April last year.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
turn that
that's
one over
not
to
getting
Greg.
paid.
Greg, because this was never authorized for us to.
But anyway, it is stop payment on the check, so there's a bill on another entity right now.
Well, we're not gonna pay that
They
bill.
have talked to you about it later. You guys can discuss it.
His name on it.
Whose name's on it?
Art Norris.
Yes, he's
It's
Norris.
not
That's
to
not
the
our
Village
building.
of Cleveland.
Why
yeah.
do you have that, why do you have possession of that, Jim?
Why do I have
How did you
possession?
obtain possession of that?
I'll talk to him later. He called me up and said that he was getting bills for that.
Who he?
He should be, he's the one that did it.
I'm the one that called for the test.
It's in his
And I
name.
Anyway, I'm not gonna argue with you.
No, you're not.
University of Iowa.
That's not our bill.
Laboratory,
Well, we're not gonna pay it, Jim, because it was never authorized.
it doesn't matter.
It has nothing to do with the
Yeah,
village of
they'll
Cleveland.
have to take us a small claim court or something.
No, it's built to Art
They'll
Norris.
probably take care of that. Just let you know.
I wanted to make you aware of that, because that's the,
Okay,
we voted to, stop payment on that check, because that bill was never that work was never authorized by the board, and,
It was never even discussed.
it was never even discussed.
Who's Art Norris?
He's a water keeper.
He thinks he is.
It goes by the title of waterkeeper, active,
Was he, I'll talk to you about it afterwards.
Yeah.
It's not,
Right.
get sidetracked at this moment.
I need to fill you in on that, I guess,
Yeah.
we need to discuss it.
Did we get a second on,
We have a motion.
I motioned, you seconded.
All in favor of accepting this financial?
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Motion is carried.
You have anything you need to report, Ray?
Well, other than the weather in Florida is better than it is here, but he sent some of that bad stuff down there. I tried to bring it back, it wouldn't come, and it was gone too short a period of time. But, somebody mentioned something about these CDs, I don't know how soon you have to get back on it. Is that meant to be voted on now?
Oh,
or
yeah.
That or just slip by?
Yeah, they need to vote on it.
I thought, you
Yeah,
know,
that's right.
One thing at a time.
well, looks like where we're at is the best rate, correct?
Where'd you get the rate from,
Byron, Orion,
Black Rock,
Black-
Orion,
Did you call them personally, or?
They have websites to pull them up on.
Is this the smaller of the two?
It is the smaller. It is the smaller CD, yes.
So
And
is it, is this correct, .07? Yes, compared to .4?
no way. That one-
No.
Point oh seven
It's
zero.
.07, that's,
Oh, sorry,
No, it's
0.
0.70.
Yes. Yes. Sorry. My
fat fingers, huh?
bad.
Possible.
My bad.
good point though, good
Yeah,
point.
it was.
Absolutely.
Somebody caught that. My eyes aren't good enough to catch that.
You get a second.
So we need to make a motion to just let it go over where it remains, if that's what we're at, that's the intent. We're at the higher.
I don't see where
Well, if
you-
we don't do anything, it automatically rolls
It'll
over,
automatically
right?
roll, yeah.
Well, you might as well just make one.
Well, I'm just asking though. I mean, if we didn't do anything, it'd automatically roll.
Yes. it
And
will.
at that, and this is the,
Yeah.
this is what it'll roll at.
Yes.
Motion to enroll it as in its entirety.
Yes. What one is that?
The smaller one. 67.
I'll make the motion that we roll this over in its entirety at the published rate with the bank at.
Would be Cox Bank, I'll second.
So you're gonna second it? We need to take a roll call on this one?
We'll do it. And Trustee Comodina?
Aye. Yes.
Trustee Boggs?
Yes.
Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Hinkleman?
Yes.
And Trustee Krugman?
Yes.
Okay, motion is carried.
Okay. I'm sorry, I did jump the gun, Greg. You're supposed to want to do that.
Go ahead.
1,500 table or something.
Okay, I already gave you my report, I didn't have any.
How long was you gone for?
Month,
A whole month? God, must be nice.
it was.
Glad you worked your vacation around us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did, as a matter of fact,
Yes, you
yeah.
did. You left behind in the last meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4 on the list, qualifications to hold elected positions. You received our letter, I'm sure?
I did, yes.
Are you residing at your residence, or you residing in Kelowna?
I live in Cleveland,
You live in Cleveland?
yes. But with my situation, just having a baby and surgery, I have been unable to go to my house and climb stairs. So. And the reason my mail is forwarded, because I've had someone tamper with my mail, which has been turned into the postal inspector. And there is a problem with my mailbox. And I had this from the mail people.
Well, they've been wanting to move your mailbox for months and months and months because it sticks out the street and scrapes down the side of the mail lady's truck. That's been going on since last spring
How do you know that?
because everybody talks about it.
Who's everybody?
Everybody, anybody that I've talked to. Anybody
I
that-
just
anybody that wants to
got
connect.
this
Tara,
on a
we
certain
understand
date.
that- We understand that you just had a baby. We understand that you're residing with the baby daddy, but you've been there for months and months. You had your mail forwarded out 6 months ago.
So,
Owning a property in the village of Cleveland is not the same as residing in the village of Cleveland.
I still reside in Cleveland.
According to whom?
I do, according to me. I live there. It's my house. I pay taxes on it.
Doesn't matter. I have a house in Florida and I pay
All my
taxes on
stuff
it,
is
but I
there.
can't go to Florida and sit on their board.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do. It's a temporary situation.
It's become way more than temporary.
What are you, stalking me?
No, I just.
You following me
know,
around?
It's obvious when your mailbox is taped shut with tape that you're not getting mail in
It
your
was a rubber
mailbox.
band.
Whatever. Again, see, I just know what I know. I
Okay.
know that your mailbox has been, and I've seen other people moving.
That's fine, but I
things.
can't move my mailbox when it's, frozen out.
Well, I know that the mail lady asked you to do it in the summer, and it wasn't frozen in the summer.
Yeah. I was pregnant, so I wasn't gonna do it. And plus, my mail's been tampered with. So why the hell would I want to have my mail go there if my mail's been tampered with?
Why didn't you respond to the letter that was sent to you 3 weeks ago?
I didn't have to. Wasn't even signed or certified. Why would I have to?
Well, because it's the right thing to do. It would have been the right
No,
thing to do.
I'm
Let
here
this-
now.
Let this board know that you're not actively on this board because you don't currently reside in your home and you didn't bother to respond to the letter. We can't reach you to discuss any village business ever.
She has my phone number. I have an email. I have given that to the board. I have not received any emails.
May I ask one question? I'm not trying to, but I know you presently, because your necessity, you need to reside where you're residing right now. It's temporary.
Temporary.
Can you give us a approximate date when you think you'll be moving back into the home here?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Would you give us the date that you physically moved out of your home?
I didn't physically move out because all my stuff's there.
Except for the stuff that you took when you moved out last summer and the stuff that your boyfriend and his friends came and moved
What
out.
the hell's a
3
tea?
I never moved out last summer. Where are you
What
getting
is
this shit
that's
from?
what she said. Number one, you've not been asked to talk about anything.
Out of order.
Yeah, you're out of order. I'm gonna have to get the gavel out, I think, here. Keep it quiet back there.
Keep it in order, Rick.
According to state statute, if you don't physically live in the community that you represent, you're no longer authorized to represent that community legally.
Unless it's a temporary situation, and that's what it is.
Well, what do you consider temporary? You've already been gone 7 months. How much more
I haven't
longer
been
do you
gone
intend to
7
be
months.
gone?
I don't know
You've
where
been
you
gone
get
since
your...
the summer.
No, I haven't.
It's obvious. Anybody who drives by your house, it goes weeks without getting mowed, it goes months without getting plowed. No one's been there.
Yeah, because I can't do it.
Since when?
I've had surgery and I was pregnant. What am I supposed to go out and shovel while I'm pregnant? I'm
I
high
did.
risk pregnancy? Are you fucking
Don't you
idiot?
have-
No, you haven't
Hey.
been here.
Hey.
You haven't even been here to the meetings. Where have you been?
Let's watch the language here a little bit.
Keep it civil.
Why don't you
Yes.
stop the conversation? You're in
Yeah,
control.
let's,
The conversation is about
yeah.
being honest and bringing to this board the fact that...
Well, you're not that honest at all.
Really? What
You're
am I being
crazy.
honest about?
You're fucking crazy.
Hey, that's the second time. The next time, I'm gonna ask you to move right out the door.
Yeah, you'll have trouble with that. I mean,
Shut up, Jim.
No, we won't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, we won't. All we have to have is a motion from one of the board members to have somebody removed for foul language and
And
a
you've
vote.
been asked to be quiet
and
twice
move.
now.
That's all right. I've already talked to my lawyer about it, and there will be harassment charges against the city if you're going to sit there and start harassing me even more.
No one's harassing you.
Really? And someone didn't go
You
by
didn't have-
taking
you didn't have surgery
pictures?
7 months ago.
You
That
didn't
had
go
nothing to
by
do with
taking
this.
pictures, somebody? It's all on video
No.
camera. I have it on my surveillance cameras.
You got pictures of me taking pictures of the snow and the ice storm? Good for you. Then who's stalking who?
You're stalking.
Well, let's move on.
No, let's not. We need to decide
Good
something
idea,
on
Mayor.
this.
You
There's
can't do
state
anything. It's a
statute
temporary
here.
situation.
Once again, how temporary is it? It's been 7 months already.
I
How
haven't
much
been
more
gone
temporary-
7 months.
How much more temporary do you expect it to be, Taryn?
Are
That's
you
the
looking in my
question.
windows, you know, see if I'm there? I can stay at my boyfriend's house. I can stay at my house. I can go back and forth. There's no law against that. I don't have to tell you where I'm at.
Taryn, once you forwarded your mail out.
It
to
doesn't
his
matter. My
residence,
mail's
it
been
makes it-
tampered with.
Then you would get a P.O. box now.
Why would I spend extra money to get a P.O. box?
And the cops.
Well, then I guess that would be up for an attorney to decide, won't it? But you made this more than a temporary situation when you forwarded your mail out.
Okay.
You forwarded your mail to a new
It doesn't matter.
jurisdiction and a new
I have
residence.
reasonable cause.
Sherry, we need to move on.
Okay, well then we'll let Graham,
Yeah, we'll just have
I'll
to-
do some more investigation into it.
Yeah, look into, of course, see what the statute's saying.
Yeah, I'll get some more info.
We appreciate it. Number 5, let's move on to this one. Jim White's request to disconnect. Discussion on that. Anybody? Anybody have anything they want to say?
well, I say if Jim is allowed to de-annex from the village, we lose revenue. He's one of the larger tax revenues that come into this community. And over over the amount of a decade, what does that add up to? And
Well,
over the lifetime of the property, what's the value there that the village is gonna lose? And what are the purposes? What's the purpose of being de-annexed from the village? Jim's never answered that. Why are we gonna de-annex? You know,
and the papers we received all had, I think it said 2012 taxes on it that we received. Well, we don't know what the current one is. So we're basing off 240-some dollars that we would receive as of 2012 taxes. That's not counting your new pole barn. I don't know.
Can I ask the question, why do you wanna,
Speak away.
why do you wanna take out Village of Cleveland?
Well, last month, my answer was, everything is pretty much definitive in the letter that was sent to the village. I'll probably stay with that answer.
well, it doesn't give a reason why you want to de-annex, Jim, in that letter. We've all read that letter. It doesn't say why you want to de-annex the village that you were
It has reasons.
mayor of for 10 years and fought to get annexed into so you could become mayor. Why do you want to de-annex now?
I don't have any answers for you guys, just move it on.
You understand that the county's floodplain mitigation ordinance is much more restrictive than the Village of Cleveland's, don't you? I mean, you and I talked about that way back in the day when we were gonna adopt ours, and we decided not to adopt the county's because it was so much more restrictive.
I don't think that I'm gonna have any trouble with the county is mitigation plan.
Just making a point.
I appreciate you doing that. And
Well, they also, we need to do a current assessment on your property and that you've done more building and, your property value is even higher than what it was by the tax numbers that we have from 2 years ago. So it would need appraisal, assessment, where does the tax dollar stand? What's the village stand to lose by allowing a de-annexation? We don't
Yeah, I
even
don't
know. I mean, those numbers aren't going to go down. They're only going to go up.
Right, I don't think we can go off the letter that was sent to us.
Great, just a couple questions. One, him de-annexing is just as simple as annexing. And we really can't stop him if he wants to.
If he, very honestly, probably not. He said if he was in an area where it would separate some other property that was in here, then it would not be
Because he's
possible.
on,
But as long as he's at the edge, I'm not going to tell you what Judge is going to say till Judge says it.
sure.
But
understood.
in my experience, that been involved a couple of them, and most of the time it's allowed to be de-annexed. Being honest, rather than getting you in a suit that I think maybe wouldn't be.
Right. No, that's why I bring it up.
Why the
Bill
statute-
Stoll's property butts up to you on the south, but nothing on the west, correct?
correct.
And what's your time frame on this, Jim? When are you prepared to de-annex? Tomorrow, 2
Sign
months
the
from now?
papers.
There's no dates on those
Fast,
papers. It
fast
says
as it
that,
goes. You guys have to vote first. It falls pretty much a year for it. Give you an opportunity.
Well, like Ray said, I don't know if we can stop them. It would be nice to know exactly what we're gonna lose.
We can wait for one more month and
Yeah, let's table it.
well,
Maybe we
Do a
ought to
little
have
investigation.
an assessor assess
Have
it
it
again,
assessed,
so we know exactly what
reassess.
we're losing.
we need a current assessment for sure.
You have that, Jim?
Do I have
A
a,
current assessment on your property?
I don't think anybody did it.
tax bill will come out in April,
Yeah,
the newest ones.
yeah.
We could probably get information from the county. Take action on it next month. One way or the other.
So we want to table it till next month?
I'll make the motion to table it till next month.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, opposed? All right, we table that one.
Before we move on, ma'am, I'd like to back up a minute and make a comment pertaining to Taryn. I don't know why you're so hostile, but you can be what you want to be. I think you've done a good job on the board when you're here. You've brought some valid points. I don't have any problem with you sitting on this board and being a member that's bringing something to the table, which sometimes you do. But the fact that you're being dishonest about where you're living, it brings up legal issues for this board. If we allow you to keep sitting on this board and you're not a resident of this, it could bring issues for us. That's all we're trying to find out here. There's state statutes for it. And you're not being honest. You know how long you've been out of your house. Everybody here drives past. They see you moving stuff out. They see your boyfriend moving stuff out. They see no activity at your house. There's never a light on there until 2 days ago. It doesn't matter. If I was in your position, if I was unmarried and was having a baby and was having a difficult pregnancy or whatever, I'd probably live with my boyfriend too. But you need to be honest about it and step aside and let someone that's in this community work with this board and get things done in this community, because you don't work with us under any circumstances. We've had meetings that you don't show up for. You have
Meetings.
emails.
I've showed
Yes.
up to every Thursday meeting except for last meeting.
I'm not talking about Thursdays. I'm talking about the Saturday meetings. we had.
I
You
work.
didn't show for him. And I work too. I had to take off tonight to be here again.
And everybody on this
But I
board,
confirm
everybody
but I
on
always
this
confirm with this
board
board whether I'm
has
coming or
donated
not.
personal time for village work in a lot of different aspects. And I'm sure your time's gonna come for that. So,
Well,
when you get moved back down here and you get your baby going, and we need some park cleanup and stuff, we'll be calling you.
All right.
We'll see if you wanna volunteer some time. 'Cause you sure ain't yet, but maybe you will. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Number 6. Now I finally got a quote.
This is gonna be nice, isn't it? That stuff, the MediaCom and the phone bill, and I see
insane.
our phone bill went up again. It's up to almost $90. Why? is
86.
that? I know.
I have
why?
no
For a phone
idea.
that doesn't get used, how could that be?
I have no idea.
So what are we doing about it? What do we find out now?
$89.95, no installation. It does run, though it changes our current contract to February of 2017.
$89.95 a month for a telephone we don't use and an internet we rarely use, correct?
Right.
Versus, right now we're paying $86.95 for the phone bill
Just the phone.
and $55 for the internet. Is it $55 for the internet?
It's like
$59.95 for the internet.
60 something, yeah.
And this provides us with email and voicemail.
Yes.
And the voicemail can be accessed from outside with a password type scenario.
Right.
And the only other option we got is to cancel it altogether.
Right, and then you've got to
just go with
pay.
a phone bill because, you know, I don't know what AT&T was charging. I've heard you guys talk about it, but my home phone cost me $44 a month to hang it on a wall, and I got a phone that's got voicemail.
Right.
I got call waiting, I got, you know, line service, the whole shooting match. So I don't know
Well, they always.
why a business has to pay more,
They
but
always do, but it's still, that just
Yeah,
seems
we-
outrageous to me.
We've
I
questioned.
mean, if all we need is a phone, I don't know what we need to pay $90 a month for access for internet and the phone, and
Well, if you do that,
they're actually including video on this too, so that means we can
Right,
come
which
down here
we
and watch
don't
cable
even
too.
need. Yeah, we don't need.
I mean,
it
what
comes
would be
with
the
it,
point? I
Movie
mean,
night, Leo.
okay, but then we gotta watch for the pay-per-view. Who's gonna pay for that?
Well, and the thing, if you cancel the internet, there's going to be an early termination fee.
Right. No, I understand. I
You
mean,
know,
it's
either you
one of
run it
these that
out and
kinda
pay
got
it,
you
either
come
way
and
you're gonna
going
pay it.
scenario, and
So,
well, what it boils down to, we're paying 86.69, there you go, I'll say it in a minute. Yeah, 86.69 we paid last month for a phone bill, we get rid of that, and for $7 more, we can have the phone and the internet.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's long distance unlimited, which,
So
you
it's gonna
know,
cost us roughly $7 more a month.
But we've got the
Well, I know.
internet and the
But
phone
we've
here.
eliminated the
Right.
other
But we,
$59.95.
yeah, but we've eliminated,
Right. So it's,
Which still
well,
seems like-
we're actually saving over $50 a month by doing
yeah,
it.
you're actually
so.
saving about
Yeah.
$79 or
Understood.
something a month there.
well, and when, you know, when I first started here, you know, it wasn't working. So, you know, I was able to come here and use the internet like it needed to be used. And now that I'm working, you know, I come here and I might use it a couple times, you know, through the month, but, you know, I just don't have the time after work to come, so I come
Sure.
home, you know. It just isn't being used like it used to be used, so.
And how much phone calls do we get that?
I know, there's 2 on there
Two messages from the past
from the last maybe week.
week or so, 2 messages.
Yeah, because I just checked it last weekend, so. But
But
yeah.
with this setup that we're talking about here, you wouldn't necessarily have to come down here to find voicemails.
Right. But I would still come here, you know, I've got stuff I've got to do on the computer, so, yeah.
Okay.
Print stuff out for you guys, yeah.
No, it's
But yeah, it would make,
the best option at this
yeah,
point.
make checking the voicemail, you know, on a daily basis probably better
Sure.
for people who have concerns or issues,
Well,
absolutely.
especially this time of year, I would think if somebody's got some problems that we need to at least know it.
Right.
Any other comment?
Well, they're gonna get you one way or the other, so obviously as a business, we have to have a phone number for the building department. We cannot have a phone number.
We wouldn't be able to keep the
So-
same number though, would we?
Yes, you can move the
You can
number.
report the
Oh, we
number.
can keep the same
You can
number?
keep the number.
That would be good.
I think we don't necessarily need internet here in this building, because Sean and I both have our own internet accounts. My internet can be accessed from anywhere, and you can access internet from anywhere in the world, and we all have internet
Well,
at home.
I don't know that
However-
we want to do something like that. I think if we're going to have the system, it should be set up here. That's just my opinion, that, we don't want to have to be relying on some outside source for internet access. Should something happen to Shauna or whatever, or you, or any of us.
Well, nobody else can access those accounts right now except us. They're set up to our passwords.
Well, we
but
need to set it
I
up so that we at
understand.
least know what your
Obviously,
passwords are somewhere or
Yes,
something, so
yeah.
that we can get in.
But
Log
as a
on
business, I
IDs.
suppose we have to have both,
Okay.
whether we use it once a month or 1,000 times a month. So if $90 a month is what it is, it is.
And roughly, we'll be saving right around $50
Right,
a month.
right.
If we,
Like I said, it's the
And
best
this is
deal
going to
we
be without
got.
any other installation fees or any penalties of any kind. Those are all that's been waived to
Yep.
bundle this
This is a
together.
Yep.
2-year
Yeah.
contract then, or 3-year?
It goes to February 17,
At that price?
So that'd be
2017, so 3
3-year
years.
contract.
It's
Yep.
going to stay that price, or they're not guaranteeing that either?
Well, you know, if rate changes change, then they notify you via letter in the mail.
Yeah, kind of like my internet, it was $19.
Right, like TV
Short-term
service
goes
and
now
everything,
$49.
so.
Well, we can discuss rate changes when they come up, I guess.
Right.
Go from there.
So that's a 3-year contract, but no guarantees, no rate change, but right now, that's what it is, with no penalties and no.
no installation fees.
No installation
I would
fees.
hope not, they don't have to do anything other than
No,
flip a switch.
right.
Right? Anybody, any input? Any,
Whatever you ladies want.
what do you think, Taryn, you're good with numbers, what do you think?
I think if it's going to save us money, it's a great idea.
Yeah, well, the way we've got things set now, I think we've explored, or Sean has explored all the possibilities with all the different companies, and nobody else is offering anything better or more convenient, so,
You can't get much down here.
I know, it's ridiculous. Well, with that said, I say we make the motion that we bundle the telephone with the internet through MediaCom and take what they're offering.
And cancel AT&T.
Cancel the AT&T to bundle with MediaCom, yeah. And they guaranteed you to port that number? That phone number is guaranteed ported with MediaCom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
This is money, I suppose we probably ought to take a roll call, huh?
Sure. Trustee Boggs,
Yes.
Trustee Davis,
Yes.
Trustee Hinkleman,
Yes.
Trustee Krugman,
Yes.
Trustee Balaguer,
Yes.
Trustee Comodina.
Yes.
Okay, motion is carried.
Okay.
Can I interrupt again? I'm sorry. I meant to ask this earlier. I see that we've, before we get off the subject of money and stuff, I see that we've paid, where did I see that at? We paid for 9.5 hours of snow plowing to Gary Sides, and he received that paid. What date is that through? 9.5 hours through, what date does that go through? What months were that, or would you mind, Gary?
Up to January 1st, excuse me.
Okay. So that's through January 1. And I'd like to thank you for doing your best you could to keep my drifting street open so I could get to work every day. We've had an extreme amount of snow this year, but between Gary and the mayor doing all the stuff he does with his tractor, I really appreciate you. Kept it easy for us to get in and out of this community during the extreme weather that we've had, so. We thank you.
Welcome. All right. Old business. I got one thing I'd like to bring off the table
Thanks.
on that old business. I'd like to bring off that pay period ordinance. I'd like to get that on finished and get it off old business. And basically what it is just a pay period says first Thursday of the month till the next first Thursday of the next month, instead of monthly.
Okay.
We just need to
Just
change
need
a
to
few
reword
words
it.
in our ordinance, our past ordinance, and if we can get a motion on that, let's change that and get that off old business.
Okay.
That way, if somebody leaves office, if you leave on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or whatever, you ain't worried about, well, do I still get 5 days pay for them 5 days? No. It's to the first Thursday to the first Thursday.
Okay, makes sense.
Well, and let me just offer
Some months are gonna be
an
35 days.
opinion. Because
Some are
if
gonna be
at some
28.
point in time down the road, somebody decides that, well, now we're gonna meet on the first Tuesday of the
Yeah,
month,
that's true.
Well,
then I would say let's set it up based on the monthly scheduled municipal board meeting, rather than a specific day of the week.
All right.
Okay,
See how you'd say that
good
again.
point.
How do you want to state that?
The monthly municipal board meeting,
To the next month's scheduled board meeting.
scheduled, I guess. Because theoretically, we're supposed to post or publish our meeting schedules every year. And based on whatever verbiage we want to use, but it's not necessarily a day of the week that we need to land on for the pay period ordinance.
Pay for trustees shall be from,
Scheduled municipal meeting, monthly meeting, whatever, something like that.
scheduled monthly,
Leo?
Yes.
If I may, do you want to go first? Because if down the line, this village chooses to go like Kelowna does, a second meeting,
Second week, you mean?
you know, the first regularly scheduled, does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, like say for instance, we would change it to be 2 meetings
Change
a
it to
month.
2 meetings a month, yeah. It'll just save you having to change it again.
Yeah, makes sense.
shall be paid on the first scheduled monthly meeting of each month.
Yep. Thanks, Mike.
And that period shall cover the first scheduled meeting of that month till the first scheduled meeting of the
Of the next month.
Of month, and shall be for the period of the prior month, or you're paying in the future, or paying it
Well,
back?
actually,
Currently, we're paying for the past month.
We pay
Basically-
arrears.
That's what I mean, I thought I read it,
Pay
yeah.
arrears.
basically, what you,
Payment made on the first scheduled meeting of the month, and shall be for the period of the prior 2 meetings. Was that all right? Or prior, so be the period from the first meeting of the prior month.
Makes sense.
The
Go
prior
back to paying quarterly.
month to date
That's the way we
of
used to do
payment.
it.
All right, I think I know what
well,
we
we
want.
could
I'll
make,
work that language out a little better, but I understand what you want.
we just need to explain or define pay period, and pay period is first scheduled meeting of 1 month to the first scheduled meeting of the following month.
Which reflects the pay when you
Period.
receive it
Period.
from the prior first meeting.
There you go. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that explains the
No,
pay period.
I'll come up better language, I just want to be sure what we were doing.
I'm sure you'll have it all worked out by next month.
Not if I can go back to Florida.
All right, anything else
gonna
on old
happen.
business anybody wants to bring up? Or what, do we have to have a motion on that too?
No, because it's still up in here until he brings us something back.
Right, all right.
I'll get you one as soon as I can.
All right.
Okay.
I see you've got some other things on the list here. Was there something specific that you
No,
were?
that's been on it.
No, we just, come on.
I mean, we pretty much accepted the building inspector as,
Darren Rosa.
Darren.
So,
Yeah, why don't we cross him off for now? Don't really need him on there. And let's just cross off that public works director thing. That's an idea I had back during the summer, and
Yeah.
I missed that meeting because I had poison ivy. But there was some things going on there, and I couldn't take care of them because I was working so many hours. And I
Did we
thought-
ever get the signs in? I mean, wasn't that taken care of? So we're,
most of them, but we still
so we're just waiting for maybe a break in the weather to finish
Yeah.
putting them up? Okay.
got a bunch of them.
I would say we could, I don't know, I suppose we'll leave it on there until it's completed. I know that you had brought up something, and I guess just because it's on the table here, but it would be nice, and I don't know what it would cost us, say for instance, but maybe investigate trading the current tractor for something that would be more effective.
Well, I got one slipped through my fingers the other day.
Well, and you know, I'm just, you know, if we can kind of keep our eyes open on something like that, but you know, like you say, I mean, if it slips through, it slips through. But
Yep.
I mean, maybe let a couple of dealerships around here know that we're interested in doing something like that.
I've done that.
Okay, all right. Because I think that is a good idea. I mean, if we get backhoe, that you know, there's several things that I can think of, like you're talking about with the culverts and
Yes. A lot of
That
things
old-
we can fix ourselves.
that old step down there of Panky's. I'd really like to straighten that out.
No, we got rid of
It's
that.
gone.
We tried once, it didn't
No,
work.
it's gone, Leo. Leo, it's gone.
Oh no, tell me it ain't so.
Yeah, me and Steve took it
Yeah,
out there
they
this
took it.
summer.
Oh,
Had it ground up or recycled.
Yeah,
that's sad. I didn't know that.
That was a hazard with you.
Yeah, I know. It would have been nice to get it straightened up so we could have used it for the boat launch.
Well, it's gone.
While we're on tractors, I should have had it on the agenda, but I was out of town. Holland called, wanted to know if we were gonna trade again. I told him, give it to the board, but yes, that we're our new tractor. He said to make sure the seat is right.
Well, that's a yearly event, isn't it? We always trade it every year.
Yeah, because we
He
get
did
the.
not quote me a price.
Well,
It might have went up a little.
yeah, we still can't beat it for the deal. Okay.
What month do we usually do that?
Usually March, April, the new ones come in.
So somebody has to contact him and tell him that we are,
He's getting it.
you know,
We might, if you want to put it to a vote, maybe we should.
if it's less than $1,000 to upgrade, everybody in favor of that? Something like that kind of a vote?
We do the trade-in on zero turn again. It's been $800 a year forever. Might go up a little, but I don't think it's gonna go up much.
Is this the tractor that's tied to this backhoe tractor listed
No,
here?
no, this is something
No,
different.
separate,
Oh,
it's a
it's a
village
mower.
mower.
I have a question. Steve, when we did it last time, was the dealer telling us it was gonna go up in price, that's why we should have got the year before? Do you remember that?
No,
They said because of the new emissions that are going to be on the engines, the costs may go up the following year. It would be for that reason, which would be 2014.
Maybe we can
But
find
they
one
never
that's
had
not-
any.
we had a
quotes.
2012 last year because they had one that didn't get sold, so we took 2012.
I know you talked about
And everything's, you know, the combines, everything's coming out with that new emission, so everything's jumping, so. We were kind of pre-warned that it's gonna go up some.
So does somebody have to call her, Steve? That's what you're saying, somebody needs to call them and
They'll call me back, but I told them to go ahead and would.
put it down for one?
Yeah,
Well, what, they're
because
gonna,
they were ordering, so they had to know.
when will they know the price?
I can call him, I'll call him, I just got on.
You'll have it for next month,
Yeah.
next month?
I'll have you-
Why
Would
don't we
you-
do that?
Would you make sure you put it on the,
Yeah, put it on,
on the- on
Yeah, on the
the
agenda.
agenda, just so that,
There you go.
yeah. Let's put it on next time, and we'll know the price by
Shawnee, you got that?
I did. Yeah, I already wrote it down.
Anything else on, old business?
Until it gets warm out, I don't want to do nothing about the display case.
then. Yeah.
I agree. Okay, should we move on to some new business here? I put Rocky River on the agenda because if we're gonna have it this year, we need to get started.
We should have already got started.
Yeah, we probably should have already, but first of all, we need to see if we have enough interested parties if we want to try and do it again.
It's open floor discussion.
Yeah, it's open for discussion. Right in there.
Okay.
Jump in.
Well, right now, we have.
Karen, this is where you're supposed to shine, girl.
We have $2,395 and a few pennies in our park fund to work with to get this thing off the ground. That's not very much money, so we're going to have to be really frugal, and we really have a lot of participation to pull this off, or we can't do it with that kind of money. That's not enough to get this thing off the ground unless we are
What's the
out there.
laws on borrowing from the general fund? I don't know, that'd be borrowing on a stipulation that you're gonna make a profit, wouldn't it?
Well, we've done it in the past. We've done it in the past.
And I say we take it back to a one-day event to minimize our losses in case of weather, flooding, etc. I think when it became a two-day event, it just became,
Maybe we just put the word out that we're looking for a drop dead of next month for somebody to pick it up. Because I know personally from my own standpoint, I don't have time to
Yeah.
deal with it. Just
There's
my
a lot of
own-
organization that goes on there, you have to be out, beat the bushes, get sponsors.
just getting
you have to have
sponsors and
bands,
the
blah, blah, blah.
poker run stops and the participation there is a pretty full-time deal right now.
Lisa?
What about doing like a 5K to raise money? Like do like a fun 5K or 10K? So we got the country area to do one in on the roads.
No, we really don't. We talked about that before, but there's too many roads that are too heavily trafficked that we have to cross to get anywhere.
You could
You
go
can make
all
it
the
a
way
cross
up
country
to
one, type one.
Ridge Road and back, that'd be over 8 miles, I think, round trip.
Well, and quite frankly, people that have been involved in coming down for our little party are motorcycle enthusiasts, not runners. I mean,
Well, I
to
think
consider-
you get a different group of people in, is what I'm saying.
Are you going to take that on?
I was just suggesting it. I don't know. I don't know what everyone thinks.
I say it's a horrible bad
5K
idea.
is
They could
not
do
a bad
that. They
idea.
could do that during the day while the poker run's going. That could be incorporated in.
Well,
We
it's-
talked about that before. And you are
Well, I
bringing
said
in
maybe
a
just
whole other group
put
of
the
people.
word out that, you know, if we're
But
gonna
how
do
do you
something,
get
we
it?
need to do it by next month.
I think that's good.
That's the problem. I don't think that's.
I mean,
a bad
they
idea.
brought like tons, like for like the color run where they spray color
Yeah,
on them,
uh-huh.
the zombie ones where they dress up like zombies. I mean, there's a lot of people.
I know. But
Yeah.
who's going to be,
Incorporate
who's
the
going to be
float.
the force
I've never
behind it
I've
that's
never
gonna do
ran
it?
one before, so I have no idea. I just throwing
Well, I
it
have,
out
but I
there.
don't since I've developed arthritis so bad. But I'm just saying, who's going to take that on? Are you going to? Are you going to say, yeah, I'll do it. I'll jump in there. I'll
Well,
organize it. I'll see if I can do it.
I don't know anything about organizing it, so I was just throwing it out there.
And therein lies our problem. Who knows anything about organizing?
Well, let's,
As far as the Roxy
It's
River,
just-
if we was thinking about having, Aaron Brown had a lot to do with the other one.
He's the one you need to get.
We could get him to be the, not put him in charge of any money or anything, but we could have him
Oh,
as
I
like an
just-
event organizer.
throw it out there and ask him if he's interested in organizing something, and
Well, we've got to get busy.
we'll deal with it
right
next
now.
month.
We got to get busy right now.
Tell him we need to know
should've
by
started
next
this
month.
last fall.
Somebody wants to contact him.
We always had it the last weekend in
It's
June.
the last Saturday in June.
All right, I'll contact Aaron this week. If,
Richard, I got a question. Why don't you name it something else besides Rock the River?
well,
Make your own name up. These guys are the ones that made the actual the Rock the River happen.
Well,
Why
I'd
don't
be
you
up
make
to
up
the-
your own name and don't copy their name?
Is that how they feel?
I think that Rock the River started the first year with Steve Balaguer and Mr. Joe Scott started that name.
They didn't
We
give
call it Rock the
any-
River. You don't just change the name of your event.
Let's just do it next month and we'll deal with it then.
Yeah.
Let's back up to old business. If we plan on doing any asphalt in this coming season, just by looking around, it looks like Main Street's probably our
Yeah,
next culprit.
probably.
Before we would asphalt Main Street, we need to fix the culvert
Yeah.
from the stop sign down across Main to the boat ramp.
The one that runs under the one that's,
yeah,
So-
we'll put a big pothole in
it's a
it.
big hole in it right now.
And that,
That's why we wanted the backhoe.
that really needs to incorporate the state though, doesn't it? Because it isn't the
State
state
line.
They say
responsible.
it's all
They
ours.
say it's
We talked
ours.
to them. They say it's
Yeah.
not theirs.
They say that
There's
whole
a fine line there, and they're on a fine line.
I talked to them again late this summer, Leo, and they said that's their barricade that we are on loan with from them, the little flashing, but they said that is not their jurisdiction, it's all us. And I had a pretty lengthy conversation with them, and they said that we need to take care of it. And they came down to pick up their little flashing light, and I said, wait a minute, guys, why haven't you guys done anything about this? This is your problem. And I'm like, I don't know. So, yeah, if we're gonna do any asphalting on any part of that road, we need to take care of that issue first. And again, that takes us back to
Well, it's
the
a
back.
box culvert underneath there, isn't it?
Or we have to farm it out. We have to get somebody, pay somebody to do
I
it.
don't think so. On this end, what's happened, the reason there's a hole there, because somebody's tried to extend the original culvert, didn't put it in right. So it's come apart a little bit, stuff fell through. Maybe the culvert under there is good enough,
Well,
but it needs to be checked.
What we might want to do then, it would be to contact the county and ask them what it would cost to have
Well, we can
all
take
of it
bids.
done at once.
Take bids on. The culvert should be done. Culvert's gonna need to be done.
Oh, yeah,
before,
yeah, it's
So
gotta
we
be.
can settle and we can put rock back around before we ever asphalt over. Otherwise, we're always gonna have a dip there if we don't. I realize the weather's bad, but maybe we should try and get some bids on culvert going
Did
across.
you see something in the paper that, is it Steve, Randall? Did he retire?
Yeah, I think so. I heard somebody talking about that.
Ron Brand.
Or,
Ron
no,
Brand.
well, Ron was his dad. He did the engineering for it, but wasn't Steve the one that was the county engineer? Because Ron and Steve kind of worked in conjunction with each other, giving us the break on the bids.
Yeah, last time.
Because he took care of all the MFT paperwork for us, is what the whole deal came down to.
I will, I'll measure that culvert up, diameter and the length. I'll have it at next month's meeting. And then if anybody who knows anybody that we can give them measurements, they can put it in. Take some bids. We'll get that done as soon as the frost is out. Maybe a little ditch cleaning up the ways.
So next month,
Next month I'll have the measurements.
so we back up 1 second then to the Rocky River.
Yeah.
I would just say that anybody that's got, I guess, we need to decide right now, do we want to move forward with it? I think this board needs to make a decision right now. Do we want to try to move forward with it? And if so, then we need to come back next month with some good solid ideas and some direction to take with it, because we're already 4 months behind on putting this together.
Whatever.
And if
I mean,
we're
if you can get hold of
if we're not
Aaron and-
interested in moving forward with
Right.
it this year, and if we're not
I'd say
interested
we're
in doing it
waiting.
cohesively as a unit to get it going, we're not going to get this thing off the ground. Because it takes a lot to get people to say yes to do this.
You get hold of Aaron and find out from Aaron.
I know, I understand.
And,
But this board could be the event organizer, and we could talk to Aaron and see if he wants to involve, but it's going to take a lot of work. And I think a 5K
Takes a
run or something
lot
like that
of
is a
time.
great idea.
I think you need
It's
a
something
lot
to
of
do.
people though.
I mean, it's always been a poker run with the bikers, and that's always gonna, I mean, that's a good, I can organize that part of it, because I know a lot of people who ride motorcycles, I know a lot of people who would like to come down for that, that have asked me in the past 2 years, why aren't you doing it anymore, why aren't you doing it anymore? And that with a band, one band, possibly, but again, we don't have very much money to work on, so we're gonna have to work on a lot of donations, a lot of time and energy for the people right here in this community, and if we're not up for it, then we need to say, well, then let's table it, let's push it aside, and let's work on it next year and get started sooner, because it's gonna take a lot of work.
Let's bring some ideas next month.
Having a baby, I know how limited your time's gonna be working and having a baby, but if you're willing, and everybody's willing, then I say we need to take a vote right now and decide right now. Right here now, we put it off too long. Are we gonna try to move forward or are we not?
Start working on the next year.
And then,
Start working on next year.
put it off again, and then like 2015, the year that the Rocky River returns. I just think, you know, we can't just push this aside again this month, say, let's talk about it next month, because I think we're too far right now.
Well, we could try to set up, get a hold of Aaron Brown, see if he wanted to attend like a Saturday meeting. We could have a real quick Saturday meeting and just talk about it on a Saturday too.
And that's fine too, if you want to just bring that back for one meeting, and talk about it, but I'm just asking, nobody's really saying anything. I'd say by a show of hands, who wants to try to move forward with that this year? By a show of hands, who thinks it's too late and we should just wait till next year? I mean, everybody has to have a feeling on it.
Dan wants it this year.
Dan loves the party. Are you gonna help us, Dan? You gonna get involved? Can we count on you for some?
Well, you can count on the 500 people who show up at my house to come over.
500?
And then after the 200 that you have, they come over to my house anyway. We have the after party. Starts with 30, grows to 300. And then
Yeah, but I don't care what's in your yard. I care what comes through this gate and brings revenue in the gate.
That's what I tell them. If you're going to be here, go get a wristband. I don't care if you go in or not. Just go get a wristband. Because they won't pay the money for the beer when...
Yeah, of course.
What do you think, Karen?
That's right.
Like
Realistic.
4 months, it's pushing it.
I know it. We got 4 months.
Yeah,
This is the
we should have
same
this on
meeting
last
that-
month, Jim,
this
that I
is the same
slipped
meeting.
my mind. I meant to
Same
have it
time
on
of
last
year
month.
that it was always organized.
Yeah.
January, February.
Yeah.
You get a hold of the right person.
Yeah, but it was easy, because I could just pick up the phone and say, hey, remember he was here last year, you
Right.
coming again? Yep.
Yeah, but now
Hey, he was here last year, you coming again?
now we've
Yep.
been absent out of that spotlight for 2 or 3 seasons, so we got to rebuild from scratch.
Right, and you don't have enough time.
So you call your old sponsors and say, we're going to do it this year, are you in?
Hell, most of my old sponsors are dead.
I don't know
My
what,
personal thought on it is, I would love to do it again, but I think we're already too much under the gun. I don't think we can pull it off successfully, and if we can't do it successfully, I say we don't do it at all. And that park fund just doesn't have the money in it to do it, and I would,
Right.
and even at the balance the general fund's at, if we legally borrow money from the general fund and pay it back and balance that money, I would be leery of doing it, because you never know what that river and the weatherman's gonna do.
We got big problems coming for
I
this spring.
say if we decide to bring it back in 2015, we need to start working on, we still need to start working on it by this summer. We need to have people committed that will come and do it and help. And it's a hard thing to put together. It takes a lot of time. It takes, and even people that, even the 2 out of 30 people that say they're committed, one of them's gonna drop out too. It takes a lot of people to get this thing off the ground and be successful.
If you decide not to have it until next year, understandably, because you've got more snow now than you've ever had,
right.
Yeah, and thicker ice than we've had in 15 years.
start talking to the people now.
Right now,
Don't wait
this
till
spring.
next year now.
Exactly, that's what I said, we still gotta get started on it by
Get on,
summer.
get on the phone, and start organizing for your sponsors that say, it's coming back, it's gonna be bigger than before, this kind of thing. Start with your sponsors now. When you talk to Aaron on the phone, tell him, we're gonna put it off till next year, but we wanna get an early start. How do we go about doing it? Who do we talk to? This kind of thing.
That pretty
Dan,
much
I
the
couldn't have
consensus?
said it better.
That pretty much everybody's consensus, put it off till 2015 and we'll
Bring back
start
the Rocky
working on it
River in
now.
2015 and we start working on it.
All right. All right, we're just gonna put that off. I'll get over Aaron.
2015.
Okay. Streets, parking, driving, snow removal, blah, 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 blah.
Kelowna Food Pantry, what do they need? What do we got from them?
Oh, that's gross. We didn't get anything from them. We missed their basket time. Well, I didn't know if you guys, since we've done it, we've donated to them every year. I didn't know if you still wanted to donate, even though it's late. So I put it on there. Hazel passed away and they didn't send us anything.
Kelowna Food Pantry itself didn't do the holiday baskets. The
No.
Kelowna Auxiliary, the Kelowna Legion Auxiliary Group did the food baskets this year. So
we just want to drop that one first?
I know a couple of people that are on there. Do you want me to chat with them and see what they're needing right now, if
Yeah.
anything, and let them know that we were willing to donate, but no one came to us with it?
Right, if you know
Okay,
somebody.
I do.
All right, then maybe we
I
can
know
put
a
it
couple
on
of them.
next month's agenda.
Okay, I know Jan. Well, okay.
All right, let's go on to the last item. Streets, parking, during snow removal. We only got one culprit there. Rick, I got a suggestion for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you start a petition and vacate that alley? Give you a little more parking.
Or what?
You already got the one in the back.
Well, you talking about my cars?
Yeah.
I let cars, I let kids, grandkids come through there. Yeah, I have them sit in there once in a while, and you see Gary go by, try to, it's difficult when everybody's over there.
When the school bus in the afternoon drops the kids off, they turn left past Sherry's house and come up next to
Right.
Rick's house. When the cars are parked there in the street at Rick's house, the school bus has to leave the road to get by.
Yeah.
She has to turn
Yeah,
in
during the winter, yeah.
and leave the road to get
Mess
by.
there.
If you vacated that alley, Rick,
What?
if you vacated that alley, would that give you more parking there?
They get the alley.
No, you can't. The houses on both sides.
So, you'd have to get a petition started and have everybody sign
You got a fire
it.
truck
Well,
gotta
the
get
alley's
through
pretty
there, and
long.
he's got a car sitting in the middle of it.
Exactly.
There's no other alley open in the whole dang city.
Because you got houses
There's
on
no
both
other,
sides.
there's another alley in the city that has houses with garages that come up to the alley.
There's 5 properties on that.
Yeah, that's a busy
That's
alley.
me.
No, it's busy.
I'll try to keep them off the road.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. Try to keep them off there while we're.
Motion closed.
All right.
God.
Joe.
Thank
Thank
goodness.
you, everyone.